Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy King Bean, and welcome back to another show, another video, and a brand new episode. And yo, you're now rocking with the best. Word up. Shout out to everybody who came by and watched my previous video. If you didn't, of course, you know the link is down in the description. You get a chance to go click on it, go check it out. So now, let me go ahead and get into the topic, what I want to talk about today. And I want to talk about fanboys and fanboyism. And I swear to God, yo, I am bugging today because of the fact that my Jags went out to San Diego and they got blasted. And I will probably do a video on that one tomorrow, give my overview and tell you how I really felt about the Jags game. But getting into some things I want to talk about again is fanboyism. This stuff here is ridiculous. And it's gotten to the point, man, I can't even comprehend why is this such a big thing. I know some of you guys are here on the channel, you may not be into the fanboyism part of gaming, but in being in this gaming community over the past year or so and doing YouTube videos, I've really learned a lot of things, and some of the stuff that really disgusts me when it comes to dealing with fanboys in gaming. Now, let me start off just saying like this. I understand everybody has a preference. I was watching Jimmy B gaming video and also Miss K, so I'm kind of piggybacking off of their videos of what they've done. And Jimmy said something that was really good. He said everybody has a console of choice, and I do too. But I'm not a fanboy to any one of these manufacturers, from Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo. But this generation, I have preferred the PlayStation 4, and I'm going to go into why I preferred the PlayStation 4 over the Xbox One. Now, at launch, when the new generation consoles came out, and I know I stated this before, I chose the Xbox One. I paid the $5.99 or $4.99 it was for it with the Kinect and everything. And then I played it, I enjoyed it. I do enjoy the console. But as time has gone on, and on and on and on, and I was listening to videos from this one particular YouTuber, and I'm going to say his name. He's a much bigger YouTuber than I am, and I'm surprised that he's grown and blown up as much as he's done, because people have exposed him for not even playing video games, pretty much stealing other people's video games and using them as reviews when he hadn't even played the game. And I'm talking about my man, Crap Gamer. He's not really my man, you know what I'm saying? But he really was the one, I can honestly say, that drove me into getting a PlayStation 4. And this is the reason why. Everything that Sony does, every video that this man does, and I'm not knocking it for his videos, because every video he goes hard and he'll drop 2-3 videos a day, but every video that he does is anti-Sony. His whole propaganda is anti-Sony and pro Microsoft. And the same thing with Mooch. Mooch do the same exact thing. And I'm sitting here, and when you start listening to their podcast, and I listen to them now, I'm going to say it like this. I like Zaire, to be honest with you. I do like Zaire. I know Heartache and Black Bond, they have a past. Also with BG, they also have a past that they don't really like this guy. But they ain't never done anything to me, so I don't know. Whatever between them. And I like Black Bond, I like Heartache, and I like BG. I like listening to them. I like the Weapon Wheel podcast. But listening to BGST every week, and I don't listen to the whole shows, but when I listen to them, I scan through the podcast today. Every podcast is the same podcast. It's the same thing. It's anti-Sony, pro-Microsoft. And the thing I don't understand is, why do you ride so hard for a company that don't care nothing about you? And also want to throw JTech TV in there. He's pro Sony. And I'm sitting there like, these companies don't care nothing about us. As you guys mostly know, if you caught up on my videos and understanding that I was in the hospital again for almost a full week. And I guarantee you, Phil Spencer, no representative from Microsoft called me. Yoshida hadn't called me either. No representative there called me either, saying, "Hey Bean, how you doing? Everything all right with you? You haven't been on your consoles in a while. What's going on, man? Everything all right? You doing okay? Anything I can do to help you?" Ain't none of them do that. You YouTubers did that. My families did that. My friends did that. The people at my job, they did that. But neither one of them. And I've been part of Xbox Live for more than 9 years. And it's going on 2 years with the PlayStation 4. I had another PlayStation account, but I totally forgot about it. And PlayStation 3 was free last year. Was free in the last generation. So when I sit there and I listen to Crap Gamer go on and on and on and spew all this propaganda and the bullshit and the lies, I'm sorry about the cursing, but when he starts spewing all these lies about Microsoft and about Sony, and I'm sitting there like, this is ridiculous. But his channel has blown up, and I'm gonna get into another reason why I see his channel was blown up. And because I watch his videos from time to time, and they do make me upset when I watch the videos, and I'm sitting there like, this guy is utterly ridiculous. And I know he's saying this stuff just to getting a reaction. He's getting the people to react to his videos and to understand that this is a money making opportunity for him, which he's doing. I can't knock the man hustle for that. I can't knock his hustle for that. But what I don't understand is the fact that when I sit there and read the comments and I listen to these guys, and I understand, like, if you're 16 and under, I get it. You're a child, you're a teenager, you're going into adulthood, or you're just a child. I get it. You're gonna ride with whatever you think it is. But when you are someone like me, who's a 40-year-old man, who going this hard for any one of these corporations who don't care nothing about you. The only thing they care about is getting your money out of your wallet into their coffers, and you ride like this and you go this hard for that makes no sense to me as a man. It really doesn't. And I feel sorry for people who follow this type of propaganda, the BS that exists today in this gaming. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's amazing. Like, going back to Crack Gamer again, which I know a lot of people, if you're going to hear this video, you're going to get triggered and you're probably going to dislike the video. You're going to say, hey man, you suck or whatever. And I do suck. I don't care about sucking. It's video games. You know what I'm saying? It's a hobby. It's an expensive hobby that we all play. But when Crack Gamer literally tells you early on in the year, before he even knows what Sony's going to do, he tells you that when they have rumors coming out that Sony's coming out with a new PlayStation, that they were saying, he said that it was going to confuse the consumer market. This is even before he knew what Microsoft was going to do at the end of the year, when they came out with the Xbox One S and the Xbox Scorpio. So now, when that flipped around, when Microsoft dropped their cards and they showed what they were going to do, when it came to the Xbox One S and the Scorpio coming out, then it's like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. Oh my God, they're just for the players. They're for the gamers. Look at this. But wouldn't that be confusion on the market? And the more and more I learn about the Xbox One S, I really don't want that console because of what? You get a 4K Blu-ray player. From what I understand from other people are saying, it's a 4K Blu-ray player. I don't know. I didn't have it. I have no interest in buying another Xbox One. I'm using my Xbox One for games, which my Xbox One, I haven't really turned it on. Only reason I turned it on the other day was the fact to play games with my man Smasher. And it took me an hour before I got on it because I hadn't been on it so long that Microsoft had all these damn updates that I had to do. Because I've been on my PlayStation 4 a lot. I like the PlayStation 4. I like the way it looks on my 4K television. How it's already upscale. The colors are brighter. The colors are deeper and darker in texture and everything else. I'm really enjoying the gameplay. I'm enjoying the controller, although I had issues with it earlier. But I'm really enjoying my PlayStation 4. And for me, being a consumer, every generation of gaming, doesn't matter what it was, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Dreamcast, whatever, so forth and so on. I always played the consoles which I felt was the best at that time. I have no brand loyalty to any one of them. So when the Scorpio comes out, depending on the price point, I'm going to cop a Scorpio. But if it's too high, then I might as well go ahead and get me a gaming PC, because the same games that's going to come out on the Xbox One brand is going to come out on the PC. So what's the point of getting an Xbox One Scorpio when I can build a better PC for it and just keep the PlayStation? And I am getting a PlayStation Pro. I am going to get that because I believe PlayStation this generation is a better console than the Xbox One brand. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't like a brand. If you prefer the Xbox One console, then go for it. Play it. No, it doesn't matter really to me. It don't matter to me. It's your money. It's your money. You do what you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? The other thing I don't understand with the Xbox One community and the gaming community is the fact that they'll tell you to go out and support Xbox One gaming. They'll sit there and tell you, hey, go buy Record. Although it may be a mediocre game, go out there and support the game. You know what I'm saying? Go support it. For what? You throwing away $40. $40 is not cheap. That is not a cheap that's not cheap to some people. Some people don't have that kind of money to burn. And interesting enough, that Crap Gamer had, much as he big up the Xbox One, he doesn't own an Xbox One S. He's waiting on the Gears of War edition. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a true gamer, why would you wait on the Gears of War edition? Why don't you go ahead and get your Xbox One S? Go ahead and get it now. Then trade that in and go get your Gears of War edition. I know that sounds stupid, doesn't it? So that sounds just as stupid when somebody sit there and tell you to go support a product for the simple fact that you want to support some kind of major corporation who don't care about you. The same thing with Quantum Break. They did the same exact thing. You need to go out there and support these new IPs and buy them. If the game is trash, then you don't need to go buy them. But the propaganda that these guys spew is unbelievable. unbelievable. And it's more unbelievable that the fact that these people who follow these guys and the comments that they leave in the comment section, it's not even funny anymore. And then the simple fact, another fact is, you're sitting around here, you're bashing the PlayStation Pro. You don't even know if the console is going to be good or not, number one. But you sitting here putting all your faith in the Xbox One Scorpio coming out next year. You have no idea what the price point is going to be. You have no idea if that console will fail. You have no idea. We have no earthly idea. More likely it probably won't fail. But then again, you got to look at price point. If that gaming console is $500, $600, $700, how many people can really afford to buy that? And also, you're going to need a 4K television with HDR to fully get the benefits of that gaming console. You think about that for a second. I know 4K television is going to be a lot cheaper next year, but you think about that for a second. You're buying a gaming console that's going to cost you extra money to really enjoy the full benefits of what Microsoft is offering. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like I said before, I understand if you're a gamer, enjoy your games, play your games, and enjoy it. It's never this foolishness of propaganda of supporting Sony or supporting Microsoft just because that's your favorite console at the time makes absolutely no sense, because they don't do anything for you as a human being. As a human being, you shouldn't ride this hard for any console or any corporation, especially if they ain't doing nothing for you, unless you're getting paid for it. And if I honestly don't believe that Crap and Mooch are getting paid by Microsoft. They may be getting paid by Microsoft. I have no idea. But if they're not getting paid by Microsoft for them to spew this kind of nonsense and foolishness, the absolutely idiocracy of their arguments and their propaganda, they're bigger fools. They're big fools. And you're the bigger fool for sitting around here following those guys. I guess I'm a big fool because I listen to that garbage that they spew. And it's just ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. You never see them talk about the real gameplay unless they're doing a review on something that they claim that it's media bias. Oh, it's media bias against Microsoft. Who cares if it's media bias against Microsoft? Who really cares? Really, are you enjoying the game? That's the only thing that really matters. And another thing, like I said, this channel's blown up. Crap Gamers channel blown up for the simple fact too as well that when they announced the Xbox One Scorpio, another console that's not coming out until next year, that everybody who's a fan of Microsoft, because they've been getting their butts kicked this generation, is now all excited. But I don't hear those same people who are buying the Xbox One S or really enjoying the Xbox One S as a new console. They still probably got their own. They probably still got their Xbox One console, the original one, like I had, the big OG Xbox One console. You know what I'm saying? They're not even doing that. It's crazy to me. And another thing I want to point out too, that Crap does, which he doesn't really explain statistics, which is unbelievable. Because see, I work in a business where we have to look at P&Ls, and P&Ls are profit and loss sheets. So you see how much money you made versus the revenue that you made and how much you spent out, basically. So when Microsoft says they sold in the past 2 months over 111% of sales versus last year, that sounds like a huge number. But mind you, let me point some other numbers out that he did not point out. When you're looking at profit and loss sheets, now this is going to give you a little bit of a business education. It's not going too deep, not going too deep into this. If Microsoft, just using for an example, if you are a company Microsoft and you sold one console last year, right? So at the same time, this year you sell two consoles, your profit margin, you went up, your sales margin, you went up 100%. You see what I'm saying? If PlayStation sold 5 consoles last year, but this year they only sold 3 at the same time, they've lost revenue of, I want to say roughly 60. They lost 66% of their market share, right? But at the same time, they still sold more and probably made more money than Microsoft. Then you got to look at the price point for Microsoft. How much are you selling your Xbox One at this price point, which is $299 right now, versus last year when it was $349? See, that's a $50 difference. So you losing revenue, although you sold more, you're still losing revenue. From what I've seen, Sony has not cut their revenue. They haven't cut the amount of money that they sold it for. Although they may have sold less, than what they sold last year, but they still get making more money for the simple fact they charge more for it. See, those are things, those are stats and stuff that crap doesn't put out there. Those are the kind of stats that Xbox fanboys don't put out there. Those are the facts that Sony fanboys may not put out there. Those are the facts that fanboys don't put out there. So when you listen to somebody throwing out statistics, you need to ask yourself a question. What is the statistics? What are the numbers? You have to have these complete numbers to understand what the statistics really mean. Yeah, you can show growth. It's one thing to be pitiful and then do better than what you did last year than it is to be great and still continuously to grow. See, that's the trick there. It's not only when you're great, you still grow when you're great. It's one thing to go from pitiful to growing, then another thing from going from great to growing. You feel what I'm saying? I hope you understood that. I know it's a little bit choppy, but yeah. So anyway, I'm about to close out this video because I'm tired of talking and I'm ready to go to bed. So anyway, it's your boy King Bean. I'll holler at you dudes later. One love. Peace.